Every year, the Week of Valor around Veterans Day offers opportunities to learn and connect and celebrate those in our community who have served in the armed forces. But this episode of the 502 Report goes beyond those week's events. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the 502 Report. Honor Flight Bluegrass has a mission to appreciate World War II, Korea, and Vietnam veterans by giving them a VIP tour of their respective monuments in Washington, D.C.
My grandson.
He's an amazing man. He's here in the Navy during the Korean War. It's a real honor to get to go with him on this flight. I'm really excited about it.
And be able to brag about it to his kids when he gets some.
Well, I think I was the Army.
It means a lot. We don't get to do much things together, and it's just going to be a fun day.
My daughter, I think she's going to enjoy it because she volunteered to go. So, to my surprise, I'm so glad she did.
Spending time with my father and learning more about his journey when he was in the war. As a kid, you hear bits and pieces, but you don't get to really understand, so I think this will help put it in perspective.
It'll be a fun day.
Passenger leaving a watch at the TSA checkpoint.
So here's the deal. When you get done, tell the pilots whether it was a good landing or a bad landing.
Any landing you live, it's a good one.
Exactly. I was waiting for it.
For real.
This is the most important thing I do. We plan for this all year long. It's something that I've been involved with 4 or 5 years. It's just a great thing. We owe it to these people to do this. People have given so much to this country, and it's up to us to honor them, to bring them here, let them see these memorials. Our mission is to get as many here as fast as we can.
I'm a veteran myself, and to give back to people that have served, it's worthwhile. I mean, it's always worthwhile. I like it when people tell me how much they appreciate my service. I couldn't be able to serve if I didn't have men and women before me that served. It's worth it. Always worth it.
We're going to take off here in just a minute. We're going to hit the World War II Memorial first. It's really a nice place.
I didn't expect that. You were treated like a celebrity, and the people are so nice. They get this together. I'm honored today to be here.
We have on our flight about 21 World War II veterans. And what's unique about 21 World War II veterans is I think there's only about 3,000-4,000 left in Kentucky. They're hard to find, but we're still finding them. And that's the cool thing. And we're finding them in rural Kentucky. Found out when they went off to war, they came back, and they went back to their small towns. And so we found out they're still there, all across the state. And so we actively recruit for World War II veterans in the small town Kentucky. And it's amazing. So we got 21 on the flight, which is really unheard of these days.
It's an honor to be here today. I've been looking forward to it, and I love it.
Glad to be here with him, all these guys, women.
One of my favorite grandsons.
You telling him some stories today?
Yeah, I told him some today. I got something to tell him tomorrow. Some I can't tell him. I can't tell him all of them.
These men and women changed the course of history. When they landed on D-Day, they didn't know whether they were going to be successful or not. And without these men and women, who knows how the history would be different. So we have to cherish and honor our World War II veterans while we can, while there's still time, where we're losing 360 every day.
Very sentimental, emotional. Yes, very nice. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's good to see so many at once. It's a beautiful place. They've done fantastic work, and the people here that are taking care of us are fantastic. They're doing a heck of a job. Couldn't ask for better.
It's just our way of showing respect and giving back to those who have given so much for us.
Being treated so nicely and welcoming wherever we've been, it's just I would say for the most of us, we've never had a better welcoming than we've had today.
May all the quaint hands be remembered, and your cup of kindness.
Well, there's a certain feeling. It's a good feeling. It makes me remember several of the ones that died along the way, and it's a shame we lost a lot of the best ones.
I am Staff Sergeant Trim of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, Guard of Honor, Hero of the Unknown Soldier. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard.
World War II and Korean veterans are dying at about a rate of about 400 or 500 a day, and we don't have much time. And if you know any World War II or Korean veterans that have not been on an honor flight, please have them get in contact with us, honorflightbluegrass.org. And we are taking some Vietnam veterans, but we got a long waiting list, and we don't get to accommodate near as many as we'd like to.
There were 24 World War II veterans, 57 Korean War veterans, and 1 Vietnam veteran on this May's flight. At Veterans Club, the goal is to create a strong community of veterans while working to reduce suicides, unemployment, and strengthen families. Their equine therapy program has been healing to veterans with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries.
They often talk about how it's so nice to be out of the city with all the noises and the sirens and those kind of things. Horses are good at healing and how intuitive they are and their ability to mirror kind of what we put out. What is it that brought you out here, and what is it that's keeping you from living a life you desire? What's really holding you back? Veterans start off by grooming horses until everybody's kind of comfortable with the horse and the horses are looking good, and then, all right, buddy, we take the horses out to the confidence course, sort of an obstacle course, if you will. We call it confidence course in the military. It really allows the veteran to really get joined up with the horses. They recognize that horses are a lot like us. Some of the obstacles, they jump right over. Come on. There you go. Some of them, they're very scared to either go through it or over it, and that's what life is, right? Each one of us are scared of different things, and we teach them to lead the horse. Easy does it, come on. And to help the horse overcome those fears, and in turn, it helps veterans overcome their fears. There you go, there you go. Attaboy. And we talk about that. What in your life has you scared? What obstacle in your life has got you to a place where you're not able to function the way that you want to? And so we work through that. Easy, easy. At some point in their lives, in their military careers, they've been leaders. And we want them to regain that confidence and understand that they're an asset to this country. They're an asset to the community they live in, and we're some of the most resilient people in the world. I've seen so many success stories. There's so many veterans who've come through. It's just transformed their lives. We're just encouraged to keep going.
Veterans Club offers a variety of other programs and services. Learn more at veteransclubky.com or on Facebook. There are no longer any surviving veterans from World War I, which makes telling its story more challenging. Luckily, Ken McGuire has been collecting and researching for 25 years and is getting closer to creating a museum and monument to honor those who came through Louisville's Camp Zachary Taylor.
I grew up in Camp Taylor in the 60s. When I was a child, there was all these stories. Some of them were homespun, and I was dead, found to go find out the real truths behind these stories. Camp Taylor was one of 16 national Army camps that were built across the United States in 1917 at the onset of World War I. It was a big boom economically, population-wise, tax-wise for the city to get. Probably in the mid-90s or so, started coming across a few artifacts in antique stores. Had no idea that they existed. There's a lot of little bitty bits of information that are just scattered everywhere that you can put together when you find out who's who. Several of the photographs were really interesting, so I started searching more and more. One of the many souvenir books, the images taken at Camp Taylor, they had several different ones. And of course eBay came online at about the same time. All these historical military artifacts started pouring into eBay. This uniform here was one of the acquisitions we've made. It really kept them warm, really warm. This is where the headquarters group is. It was built for 44,000 people and 10,000 horses, and at the peak it was 59,000. They ran out of buildings. So they had a little tent city there on Preston Street. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of interesting people who came through there. F. Scott Fitzgerald is the name. He was only here for a short period of time, but he did develop a lot of his characters for The Great Gatsby from Louisville. Another gentleman by the name of Richard Travers, who was a silent movie star. He had 160 film credits prior to World War I. So that hillside right there with the arrows pointing to is where this picture was taken. I just find it thrilling, to discover this stuff and figure out where these places were, and this just fascinates me. I've been working on it for 25 years. I've just about digitized everything. A lot of soldiers that came from Camp Taylor that died during World War I, and there's no recognition for them. We're aiming to change that. We want to bring it to the forefront, to the military history level it should have. It's going to be a museum/memorial. It'd be a jewel in the pocket of the city of Louisville. Like I said, I've been working on it for 25 years, trying to get to this point, and hopefully I'm getting closer and closer.
He was a soldier, educator, and civil rights activist, probably one you haven't even heard of. But thanks to Kentucky's Center for African American Heritage, Colonel Charles Young is getting some well-deserved honor.
Veteran memorials are important because it's a way of reminding all of our citizens about the contribution that has been made by millions of Americans in the defense of this nation. It also serves as a reminder to our contemporary public that we have a responsibility. This is the first Veterans Flag Memorial in the country built in honor of Colonel Charles Young. And that is extremely significant to the black veterans community in particular.
Colonel Charles Young was a very, very important figure in U.S. military history. He was the third African American to graduate from West Point. He was the highest ranking officer upon his death. He is considered a rock star at West Point because of his military strategies. One of the major reasons why we want to celebrate him is because he's a Kentuckian. We are right now focusing on developing a media arts center that will be named after Colonel Charles Young. We have contracted Mr. Charles Blatcher III, who is working diligently to raise the funds for us to build the media arts center.
It's an opportunity for the city, the community, and the state to benefit. And at the same time, it's important because it gives this institution the ability to meet its mandate of educating in the state of Kentucky. That center will provide direct contact to classrooms around this state, which would be a valuable educational resource. Honoring a man that was very much what I consider to be a Renaissance man, Colonel Young. He was a playwright, he was a musician, he was a multitude of all of that. And so to have his name on an institution that's geared towards those types of things along with education is absolutely appropriate, and we're honored to be here in Kentucky for this occasion.
The Volunteers of America's Unity House is one of the few places where homeless families can stay, and they have specific rooms just for homeless veterans.
I think it's just going to make all the residents feel, at least temporarily, like they're home.
We are at Louisville's Unity House. This is a facility that serves families, and some of those families are veterans families, specifically families who have found themselves homeless and help them escape homelessness and get back on their feet.
One of the most important things for this shelter, being a family shelter, is to try their best to make it feel like a home. Everybody from GE Appliances here today is a veteran of the armed services. When we showed up today, a lot of the kids were walking out with their backpacks, getting ready to catch the school bus, and if it feels like a home, I think it's going to be far less traumatic and easier for them as they transition from one chapter to the next chapter in their life. Whether it's better playground, better apartments for the residents, one of the pillars of Volunteers of America is serving veterans, whether it's homeless veterans, veterans fighting addiction or underemployment. And this place, this emergency homeless shelter, is the only one in town that has family housing, and there's a few reserved rooms for veterans. We really are grateful for what Volunteers of America is doing in our community, and this is just a small part of what we can do to help them.
It's amazing to me how many people really want to come out and help beautify our areas and help do things that we don't have the resources and need help for, and to help our families have a great place to live. I know it may seem like, oh gosh, I'm just shoveling something, I'm planting something. It means the world of difference for somebody who calls this a home.
There was a lot of erosion. Part of the playground area just washed out, just made it very unsightly. But we're constructing a new retaining wall that will keep the place beautiful. Inside, I know that there's some closets being constructed with shelving and hangers.
There's nothing that touches every part of our geography and our service line as much as the work we do with veterans. We've done it for a long time. We're talking about people who have served in a way that most of us can't imagine.
All of us in the GE Appliances Veterans Employee Resource Group, we feel very fortunate of what we have. We have a great job with a great company, and unfortunately there's a lot of folks in our community who served side by side with us, but due to maybe circumstances out of their control, they've run on hard times, and they need services of Volunteers of America as well as other agencies in town. So again, it's just an easy opportunity for us to give back, sweat equity. We have a lot of veterans in this community. We need to take care of those who raised their right hand and said, I'm willing.
USA Cares helps support active duty military, veterans, and their families by giving out up to $20,000 in grants each week. Events like the Rapid Warrior 5K help them raise those funds.
Okay, so where is the Air Force? Yeah. Coast Guard. How about the Navy? There we go. Marines? And how about the Army?
So USA Cares was founded in 2003. It actually started with a grassroots campaign. It was started from Wave TV3 and Kroger. There was a huge surge going back into Iraq. And so they knew there was a need. They raised a lot of money, and that actually gave birth to USA Cares.
USA Cares is basically helping a veteran in their time of need, when they need it most. And so we'll step in you know, when you're going to lose your house, you can't keep the lights on, or, you know, we'll also step in to help you get treatment if you need PTSD treatment, or career transition. If you're going to get out of the military and you need somewhere to go, we're going to try to help you facilitate that.
My husband is deployed right now, and it's his birthday. So what more fitting than a 5K? And then my friends are joining along.
Yep,
my friend
we're here for
Katie,
support.
and then my friend Joe Pat over there.
Ready, set, go!
All right, good job.
I'm volunteering because I have 7 brothers. 6 of those served in the military. My son was a Marine sniper. I'm a proud military mom and just feel that it's my duty as an American citizen.
My nana came up and she was like, hey, can you go help out down at the amphitheater? I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm down here helping out.
My husband just retired 2 years ago, served 20 years in the military. We're beneficiaries ourselves, and we do all we can to help out. So anytime we can volunteer, we are here.
So we have 4 primary areas we provide assistance. It's your combat injured, housing assistance, emergency assistance, and the career transition. So those 4 areas are the primary needs that we're seeing a lot of our service members today and our veterans that are in need. They're having issues with housing. They're being evicted or their homes being foreclosed. We step in and we help, and we try to stop that. The emergency assistance could be utilities, it could be food, and amazingly enough, we're seeing a lot of that as well.
If we can't help you, we're going to try to connect you with a resource that could help you.
And the combat injured, we're just trying to get them to go in and get help because they've earned it, and we need to help them, but sometimes they're afraid to because of the financial distress they could be under if they go in and get treatment. And then the career transition, we have a specialized program that we've partnered with the military on at Fort Knox. It's the Senior Leader Corporate Fellowship Program. That's a program that we actually have become a talent attraction model to bring service members to the Louisville area. Because with this program, we're able to put them with some of our larger corporations in the area. They spend about 8 weeks with these corporations before they even get out of the military. And we're getting about 90% of them are actually getting job offers from this opportunity. So it's huge to have a community involvement, have everyone behind us on this effort to try to help those. We get about 250 requests per week that's coming in from all over the country. We need volunteers for different events such as this. Donations, that's huge. We need help because these service members, we're putting about $20,000 a week out in grants. We're not asking them to pay it back, but those funds have to come from somewhere. We get a lot of corporate support from large corporations. If individuals want to do something, you know, even if it's $1, then they're doing something to help a service member.
It's a great cause, and we look forward to participating in as many things we can with USA Cares.
We want to be able to help everybody, and the more you guys support, the more we can help. And it's really an amazing thing, and I love USA Cares.
We're proud to be here in Louisville. We're proud to be a part of this community. Honestly, the people here really care about our military.
World War II veteran Bob Enders was recently honored at the Robley Rex VA Medical Center for something completely unrelated to his years of service.
We appreciate you coming.
He spends a lot of time really on the detail.
Lady Gaga.
They're beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Did veterans do these? Who drew these?
One veteran, Mr. Enders.
I'm really happy doing it.
I think this is really amazing.
Moments like this are really the best of what it means to care for veterans.
I'm so proud of the VA for putting his pictures out and really do this presentation.
In recognition of his service to his country and his artistic accomplishments.
I probably spend 4 to 5 hours a day, and what it does for me is it passes the time at the retirement home. That's what it really does.
When you have a purpose, it keeps us all with a little pep in our step and keeps us going as well. So I appreciate the inspiration that you're providing to everybody here through your tremendous sketches and artwork. They put a smile on your face when you take a look at them.
He says it keeps him busy, but I can tell.
Very good.
All right.
It's relaxing, it's enjoyable, and all the residents love it because he's done pictures of every single resident in there and their kids and their family. He's done many things over his years, and this is just his new thing at 94. I know he loves this honor that somebody's recognizing what he's done too. It really was above and beyond what I thought it would be.
Thank you very much.
In
case you weren't able to make it to this year's Veterans Day Parade, here's a look at some of the festivities. And to all of our active duty military and veterans, thank you for your service.
We got some cupcakes we're passing out to some of the veterans out here, and I think this is really, really cool. If they're brave enough to leave their families and stuff just to go protect our country, then that just means a lot to me. You're risking your life just to protect other people.
Both Army veterans. I was an Army medic and he was a cook.
It really warms my heart to see that the companies that are coming out and the people that are coming out to honor our vets, because a lot of things have changed over the years. They used to not get the recognition that we deserve for serving our country. And so it's really important to let them know that they are honored and they are respected and that they are appreciated for what they do.
Just trying to support the people who make freedom happen. Quite a bit of family and friends just come out to help them out, support them a little bit.
This outfit, I couldn't help but put it on. I graduated back during the Vietnam War and we lost a lot of people. A lot of my friends died. It was horrible. I believe in celebrating our veterans because if it was not for our veterans, we would not be here.
It says, thank you for your sacrifice, your life for us. I would not be here if it wasn't for you. Thank you for loving America. That makes your day, really. It makes you think that they appreciate you.